Right, I'm John Marsh,
I'm Alex Shabinsky, and we are the Chopping Block.
your social entertainment experts.
Tonight we're asking for $100,000 from Milan's Pottsville event.
Yeah, but before we get started, Alex, look at this room. This is insane. Guys, you motivate the heck out of us being here tonight. I'm juiced. Salva said it was hot. I wasn't until I got up here. I am now. So this means a lot to us. It's great to be in a room of like-minded individuals like yourself, all striving towards one goal, which is the betterment of the community in which we live. So that's what we're all doing here. That's what the other competitors are doing here. Alex and I are absolutely juiced to show you our vision. So let's get started.
Again, Alex Shabinsky. I was born and raised in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. I'm currently a resident of the city of Pottsville. I live here with my wife Samantha, who a lot of you know, and my young daughter Sloan. I have my bachelor's in the science of business from Penn State University. I have over 8 years of experience in the hospitality management industry, and besides growing up working for a construction company, a family business, Shabinsky Builders, for the last 9 years I've been working with a commercial company where I oversee large-scale HVAC and solar energy projects.
And I'm John Marsh. I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi. I had the honor and privilege of serving in the United States Marine Corps for 8 years active duty as an intelligence operator in Marine with 2 combat tours to the Middle East. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I also attended college at Penn State University, where I studied security and risk analysis. And then something very unique happened to me. It's probably never happened to anybody else. I met a woman. And all the plans that I had made, I decided that they were stupid, and I'm just going to follow her around like a lost puppy and hope that she takes me in. Luckily she did. She is a Pottsville native. She's in the back of the room. She had no idea I was going to say all this. And it's Elizabeth Padu. So luckily she did take me in. I followed her to Philadelphia where she studied to become a dentist. I was working my way up through a large security company to an HR director position in charge of 996 full and part-time personnel. I changed jobs and did some government contracting based out of Bethlehem. And then actually through the Schuylkill County Chamber, I was connected with my current employer. Many of you know him. It's Mike Tovash. I am currently Mike's agency manager for his insurance agency. I do plan on keeping that position, even if I am selected tonight. Mike has been very supportive. I appreciate it. I know he's been worried about it. So enough about us. Let's talk about the Chopping Block. So our mission is to be Schuylkill County's premier destination venue for safe, fun, inclusive social entertainment. Where did this idea come from? Well, it came in part from us realizing that every time we wanted to do something, engage each other, we had to leave Pottsville. We had to leave Schuylkill County to be entertained. There's an underserved industry here, and that industry is social entertainment. And that's too bad because there is a market for it. Our target market is anyone 16 and older who's social and is willing to spend a little money to be entertained. And we're seeking to enter into very healthy industries. So the axe throwing industry is a $200 million plus a year generating industry, but it's part of a much larger, one of the largest industries in the US, and that's the entertainment industry. $300 billion a year spent on entertainment. And that just shows that people value entertainment and they're willing to pay for it. It also leads to our ability to sustain this model. Both industries are slated for double-digit growth over the next 5 years. That's as far out as accurate projections go, which just further indicates our ability to sustain this business model and that it's a viable option. So there's a ton of opportunities in starting a business like this. The first is that there's not much competition. We're first in the market, and if you're starting a business, it's not a bad place to be. So we're going to create that market right here. There's no other venue like this in Schuylkill County. Alex and I see ourselves as part, right? We're a piece of the revitalization puzzle. To be a piece of a puzzle, you need to fit well with the other pieces around you. So we have an opportunity to collaborate with local businesses, local individuals, and local groups for a mutually beneficial situation. And we have an opportunity to give the people what they want, which is something to do. Touchy. All right, so what is the Chopping Block and who are we? Both questions can be answered by this acronym CHOP. It's our core values. Those core values are commitment, hospitality, opportunity, and playfulness. Our commitment to providing a safe, fun, and unique experience for our guests. Our hospitality is going to be a focus of the chopping block at all times, from the moment that you enter the building and greeted by a smile, to the respect that you receive for the entire time that you're with us. We're going to make sure that you have a not good, but great experience every single time. Opportunities, we talked a little bit about that, but those opportunities just don't belong to us. Alex and I are going to continuously look for ways to give opportunities to others, whether that's individuals with employment or collaborating with our other local businesses and groups that I discussed earlier. And playfulness. We believe that everybody should work hard, and play safe. People need a place to go to unwind from the day-to-day grind that is life, right? They need a place to go and engage their friends. They need a place to go and engage their team members to do some team building. And what better way to do that than something physical and kinetic, like X-Rowing?
So that brings us to where. So this was actually one of the most difficult parts I think we agreed on this project for us, was finding a place that fit us, fit our business, fit our venue. Luckily we did find one. It's located at 370 South Center in Pottsville. The current owner is absentee, and there hasn't been a tenant in there in the last year and a half. The property is almost 12,000 square feet between two separate floors and a small basement. And it's dilapidating quicker and quicker every day. There's major roof leaks, water damage, it's out of code entirely. There's lots of examples of what's going on in this place. We have a lot of work cut out for us, which we like. We have had the ability to take local code enforcement, our local city inspector, our own team of engineers, and multiple contractors through here to really get a good look and make sure that we're all on the right track. So what this property does is, well, it's a total gut. It gives us a clean slate, which brings us to our vision. So we want to make this a next level event, or a next level type of establishment, and a destination venue. We want to get people off the fence from, we have great trucks, we have Yingling, we have awesome restaurants now downtown. But a lot of people ask, like, is there something else to do? We want to be that answer right there. So our X-Rowing venue will have 16 total targets with the capability of housing 56 growers all at one point in time. All of our targets will be built to World X-Rowing League specifications, giving us the opportunity to use different venues like ESPN to get them in there, but create a league, have tournaments, and really, boost some community involvement. What we're going to do a little different with our X-Rowing is we're going to do projected targets. So that gives you the opportunity to actually select from over 250 different interactive games each time you come in, not just throw it a bullseye every time. So that's a little different. You get to play axe throwing with zombies, duck hunt, tic-tac-toe. I mean, the opportunities are endless. Team building. John mentioned that before. We'll have room for private parties, private events, bachelor parties. You can bring corporate events in and have that for team building. And then there's a whole other ancillary area of revenue that we plan to create, which with our sports bar and lounge. And there's a couple photos. It's a little bright in here to see some, but it's a little bit of a vision of what we want it to look like when we're done. Our sports bar and lounge will have pool tables, shuffleboard, giant games, and what we really want to see here is we want to create a social entertainment hub, where even if you're not going to throw axes, you can still come in, hang out, watch a football game, play other games, and just get together with your friends and family and community. When will it happen? Well, to be real quick, obviously, if we got our ask tonight, we'll move forward and hopefully close within the next 4 weeks on the property. Your standard engineering and permitting time for over 30 to 45 days. And then we hope to be able to renovate this mess of a property within 6 to 8 months. Our goal is to be open by March of next year, March 2023.
So what does it take to make that vision happen? It takes this. So here's a snapshot of our startup costs. All in, $552,000, with a heavy emphasis on the building cost to renovate. So I want to note here that we're the right team for this because we complement each other well. Where I lack experience to do this, Alex has it, and vice versa. So we complement each other very well. If another team were to try to do this is our cost, and that's because we're doing a lot of the work ourselves. There's a ton of sweat equity invested into this program. This is well over $1 million project, but these are our costs. It's also why we need Launch Pottsville's help, because the building really needs help.
Funding, as John mentioned, besides sweat equity personal investments, we will be putting in our own funds as well. We've applied for regular grants from PADCO and also other SBA lenders. And speaking of grants, big help from Pottsville Redevelopment. They've actually written us a letter of intent to help us purchase the property. On top of that, cover our engineering costs, and that's huge for us. But for us, really the final piece of the puzzle right now is tonight, it's Launch Pottsville. That gets us to where we need to be in order to bring this vision and this establishment, which is going to be exciting, right here into the city for us.
But here's a 3-year financial forecast for us. Year 1, we expect to hit $850,000 in gross sales, eclipsing that 1 million mark in year 2, and then another 16 to 18% growth in year 3. The most important thing here is to know that these numbers are based off 35% capacity. When I mean capacity, I don't mean total building capacity, though. I mean axe throwing capacity. So Alex mentioned earlier, we can throw, or 56 people can throw axes at a time. That's the capacity I'm talking about. So 35% of that is 19. So 19 throwers is what we need to average. So our price point is $25 an hour per person. We're adding a $6 drink ticket to each one for a per person spend of $31. At the 19 an hour average, that's where this is from. It doesn't take into consideration any of the ancillary money from private events, basically the front of the house, people just watching games and buying beer and playing those games. So we wanted to make it conservative numbers. We wanted to make sure that we could hit these marks. So how do we fit into the revitalization efforts that are taking place in downtown Pottsville? So we've been in the Launch Pottsville program since it started last year, and there's been one thing, at least one thing, that's been very consistent, and that's the criteria in which they're judging us. 5 pillars to pick your winners tonight. The first we already talked about, sustainability. We showed or demonstrated that there's not much competition, if any. There's low overhead. I didn't mention that on the other slide, but there's low overhead. So heavy startup costs, low overhead. The margins are good, and the industry, the markets are very healthy. The next is foot traffic. So per week, we anticipate 532 people injected into downtown Pottsville. That's 532 people, 532 additional opportunities for other businesses to do business as well. Job creation, we anticipate hiring 10 team members right away and then bringing on a manager in year 2 to run the day-to-day operations. So we've done our due diligence here. We've spoken to other axe throwing venue owners all around the nation, from the Pacific Northwest, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. We called them all. I just called them far away because I don't want them to talk to me. So once they realized that we weren't going to be directly competing with them, they were very gracious with the information that they gave us. They were very helpful. We learned a lot from their success. But as I think everybody knows, you can also learn from shortcomings as well. And one thing we disagree with is pay rate. The average pay rate for those venues was $10 to $12 an hour. And Alex and I, that's not what we're interested in. So our target pay rate is $20 an hour. That's what we want to pay. The numbers that you saw are based on 16. As soon as 20 becomes viable for us, that's what we're doing. And we anticipate that it will be before we open. We just want to make sure that the numbers work. And our pay rate will be $20 an hour plus tips, which we will also help them get. Similar to checking out at a restaurant, you'll have the opportunity to judge your expert, is what we're calling them, and provide a tip if you feel so desired to. And tax increment, you saw the gross sales, you saw what we're thinking our revenue will be. It's a nice injection into Pottsville. And the last one, it isn't up here, it's in the next slide, is the perceived need of the business. Do we need this business in downtown Pottsville? We wanted to show you that we do. So we put out a survey. I went to 81 people. Every respondent is a Schuylkill County resident, right? And this is what they said: 100% said yes, they want to see more family-friendly social entertainment in downtown Pottsville. That feels obvious, right? That's our point. We wanted to articulate that this is an obvious need. I think I hope everybody in this room agrees with the 100% that answered our survey. This is something that's needed in downtown Pottsville. The last statistic that I didn't put up here, but I want to talk to you about, is 90% said that to be socially entertained, they felt that not only did they have to leave Pottsville, they had to leave Schuylkill County with their family and friends. 90% felt that they had to leave the area to be socially entertained and taking their people with them. That's a huge missed opportunity for our community And so we want to fill that void so that we can be an integral part in the redevelopment of downtown Pottsville. We know that we just hit you with so much information. This is 10 months of research, all down into, that was like 8 minutes, right, Tom?
You're way over time.
right in here, it's a 15-minute presentation, so we have access on that.
We'll cut you some slack on that one, gentlemen. Judges, do you have? Judges, any particular questions on this fantastic presentation?
I just have one.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys, I know you're going to be saving a lot of money relative to the improvements that you're doing. Do you guys have any contingencies in plan for the rising costs of materials in the budget that you've already presented?
Yeah, there are contingencies in there listed.
That's all you can think.
All right, anybody else?
I just have one. Will you be able to customize the targets with pictures?
Yes, we love to joke about that. It's always the Valentine's Day joke where we say, it's Valentine's Day. Send us a picture of your ex. Boom. Now you can't take pictures of you throwing an ex.
No flash photography.
No flash photography. But absolutely, we can customize pictures and project whatever we want on that screen.
Why?
That was mine. All right, thank you very much, Jonathan and Alex. Another big round.
Thank you.
All right, at this point, I'm going to ask you to trust me. I'm going to trust you guys like they do in like second grade when you get a little break. I know what happens. Everybody gets a break, and then they all disappear, and it takes an hour to get everybody back. But we have vendors here. First of all, we have Anya Delaney back there serving drinks. You can take a quick drink break.